Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for February the 11th, 2020. Today we're going to be discussing the fallout from the Irish general election, because boy it was funny, and any excuse to look at a really sad picture of Leo Varadkar when he realises he's not the first choice in his own constituency. Before we do that though, I need to make something clear about how they vote for their politicians. It is a preference vote system. So after the first vote, Leo Varadkar didn't win his seat at the first call. Sinn Féin did. If anyone wants to know anything key about Irish politics, Sinn Féin are not the most popular, although they have become quite popular in Northern Ireland and now Ireland. They very much want the Union and the whole country to be one again. The other two main parties, for the most part, produce essentially the same menu for the voters. They apparently both sit centre-right and basically work together to prevent anyone that is remotely Republican from getting anything alternative presented. So when the votes were cast, this was quite tasty. Many did believe that Leo Varadkar would not stay on as the Taoiseach. Yeah, I looked at the pronunciation for his Taoiseach title. That is how it's spelt. Taoiseach. Apparently. According to Google anyway. I do apologise if it's wrong, but it's Google, okay? It's the best I could do. To go forward, Leo Varadkar will have to form a coalition if he wants to stay in power, but it is unlikely at present that he could in fact achieve this, as he has outright ruled out a way of working with Mary Lou MacDonald, the leader of Sinn Féin in Ireland. Somewhat interestingly, Mary Lou MacDonald has said, "I'll work with anyone." Go figure. Many believe that this is a protest vote, and that the reason Sinn Féin got as many votes as they did was entirely because people are sick of being offered up the same politics by two parties that are very much similar, and that they now want something different, something actually acknowledged by Leo Varadkar, who finally conceded that his country is not a two-party system anymore. Good. Now work with one of those parties, because you don't have a majority. In fact, I'd be surprised if you stay on as leader. You should probably stand down, to be honest. Your tough talking has clearly come to bite you in the backside, like Theresa May's. With 160 seats up for election, Fianna Fáil secured a majority over the other two of 38 seats. However, that isn't enough for an overall majority within their parliament. They were followed by Sinn Féin, who is considered a socialist left-wing party by a number of outlets, with 37, and Varadkar's party are lagging behind at 35. These votes are yet to be completed, by the way. Obviously, it's going to take a few more days before we get the absolute final total. Sinn Féin's success is a very much clear and obvious mandate that the current system needs to change, something which I'm very keen to see happen. Not because I don't like Leo Varadkar, in fact, he's a character. I'm all in favour of him being there, but entirely because many within Ireland that I do speak to do not appreciate only having one type of politics. You need two very different types so that people can make informed decisions on alternatives, especially when you are given the same regurgitated stale policies for decades. Sinn Féin, for those who don't know, actually won the popular vote. But unfortunately they did not field enough candidates to win an outright majority, something which they would have gotten had they fielded enough candidates. This is because the party did not expect to make significant gains after a poor showing at last year's local elections. It should be noted though, because of the results so far, Leo Varadkar essentially is out of the running to continue as Taoiseach following the losses at this general election. How this progresses going forward for Ireland is actually a problem, because with three parties and no clear majority yet, and there not being any indication there could be a clear majority within their own parliament, a coalition of some kind has to take place. It is unlikely that Varadkar's party will be able to secure independence to form a government, and even if they did, it would be such a minority government they would get nothing done. As Varadkar has ruled out working with Sinn Féin, his only realistic option is to work with Fianna Fáil, but that is unlikely since they have more seats anyway. meaning that the leader of their party will have to run the country and Varadkar can go to the back of the benches. His time as a leader and, of course, a globalist personality will come to an end very soon. With this, I'm very much interested to know what you think about how this election has taken place and what you believe the reason for the surge in voters for Sinn Féin was. I believe Brexit did play a part. Some have said it didn't. I believe it did because Varadkar was very vocal about it. But I also believe it had a lot to do with the policies that his government and previous governments from Fianna Fáil put forward, as they were boring. And Sinn Féin offer something different, which people are quite scared of. Good. You're supposed to be scared of opposition, because they're meant to be a legitimate threat, and not something that creates a status quo of, well, they're different, but they're not, so we'll just vote for them anyway. Please do let me know in the comments down below.